Happy Thursday, boys and girls. Today we are going to compare fractions, comparing fractions. So compare the fractions 1/2 and 1/6. I did not write any ways that we could do this yet, but I'm going to show you right now. The first way is you're going to create two number lines. They're both going to start at 0 and they're both going to end at 1. 1/2 is fairly easy because I just pinpoint the middle right in the center, and I know that when I have half of something, like a cookie, if it was exactly, if it was symmetrical and I could cut it exactly down the center, you could get half and I could have half. So on 6 there are 5 lines. So 1, 2 are going to be on this side, 3 is in the middle, and then 4, 5 over here. So I'm going to make 5 lines pretty equally spaced out. I realize those might not be perfect. And then I'm going to label, this is going to be 6 sections. I know this is 2 sections, 1, 2. This is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to label my 6. 1/6. You know how I love saying that? 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6. I think that's the hardest word in the English language, and 6/6. Okay, so I'm going to make a dot above 1/6 and a dot above 1/2. So I can already tell that 1/2 is much larger than 1/6. If someone said you want 1/6 of a pie, you would get a much smaller slice than getting half the pie. So 1/2 is greater than 1/6. You can also make fraction bars and compare. So I could make fraction bars and compare. And this one would be 1/2. I already know that line's going to be in the center here, and I have to have 5 lines, so I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would label each of these the fraction. 1/2 and 1/6. Each of these pieces is 1/6. And then I can get my other marker and I can color it in. No, that's not perfect there. I can color it in and I can see that this is much larger than this. So that's another way to look at it. And I had a third way. Fraction bar, number line. Oh, we could do a shape, a picture, so we could do like a pie. So I could do, I know it's not even, but I could do 1/2, 1/2. So I could do the fraction bar, or I could do, a circle, a square, whatever I want to do. And then this would be 6, so I'm going to do 1 line down and 2 lines across, and these are all 1/6. So I can again see that if I got this piece of pie, it's going to be much smaller than this piece. So getting a little bit easier, I think, for you to recognize how fractions work, and that when the number on the bottom is larger, the piece is smaller, okay? So we're going to go on. We're going to compare 7/8 and 4/8, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with my number line. And this one, I feel like maybe I made it too easy for you, only because it has the same, I feel like I didn't even have to make 2 number lines, but it has the same denominator on this one, so that made it a little bit easier for you. So I need to make 8 lines are going to be total, but this counts as one of the lines, so we make 7 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to space them out about like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I apologize. I know that was not perfect. And I almost feel like I need to do that again. I'm going to move this one over a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? That one was a little bit better. I'm going to erase this. I really don't like this one, and we're just going to use this one on the bottom. Sometimes that happens. We just make a mistake and we just keep going, and it's okay. So I'm going to label 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. And as I said before, you really only need 1 number line. So now I'm going to put a dot on 7/8, and 4/8, and I can tell that definitely 7/8 is greater than 4/8. Another thing that I could do is to make eighths, you make a line across, you make a line down, and you make an X. And if I was to color in 7 of these spaces, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I can see that that is much more than if I was to color in 4 of these spaces here. So this is like 4 pieces of pie, and you could do the same on a fraction bar. And this is 7 pieces. You can tell this one is definitely greater than this one. This is definitely larger than this one. All right, so a couple review problems for you today. I would like you to look at this again, think about what the whole is, and tell me how many pieces are shaded over the total in a whole. So numerator, how many pieces are shaded over the denominator, the total pieces in a whole. Compare the fraction on your own. I want you to compare this fraction. You can use a number line like I did earlier. You can use a fraction bar like I did earlier, or you can use a picture, 1/4 and 1/2. So I want you to show me at least one way that you can compare 1/4 and 1/2. For example, I had shown you that you could use a number line, you can use a picture, and you can use a fraction bar. So I'd like you to do these 2 problems, please, on your own. This one right here, total over total for 1, total shaded. And then this one is draw a number line and compare, draw a picture, or draw a fraction bar, or any of the combination. All right, boys and girls, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.